Hello everyone, thank you for joining our webinar. Today we're going to talk about the Customer Support Center and give you an overview of the resources that you can find in the Customer Support Center. I do have everyone muted at the moment just so that we can make sure that we have minimal amount of background noise, but you're welcome to ask questions in chat. So let's go ahead and get started. The Customer Support Center is available to all partners in Illinois WorkNet. You have to have a partner account in order to access these tools. So the way that you do that is we have tools for requesting to become a partner. If you go to Illinois WorkNet and you see this little logo or little icon at the top, click that icon and you flip over to the partner side. You can see the different types of partner tools that we have available. Let me hit login real quick again. And one of the areas you'll see is under the menu, you'll see Customer Support Center. That's one way to get to it. We also have an area right here that says Customer Support Center. So multiple ways to get to the partner guide. We're going to start out with the partner guide because the partner guide, one, gives you access to those tools. But also I want to make sure you know where to find updates, continuing guidance, archived webinars and videos, and lists of resources. So in our first area, we have partner guidance, which would be articles with links to additional resources or instructions and videos associated with those articles. We have our partner training materials and videos. We'll have tutorials and archived webinars here, as well as the resources that were used, or materials, I should say, that were used with that webinar. We have our full list of resources, which is exactly what it is. A full list of all the instructions and other related resources are available on this page. And as we make updates to the Customer Support Center, you can view those updates in our partner tool updates. We have a variety of resources that are available. One is the Quick Start Guide, and it kind of gives you an overview of the different types of tools, as well as with some brief tutorials, so that you can kind of get an idea of what is available. We have account management, assessments, career plans, a variety of tools that are available. And then we also have our event calendar. And so we just started out building out our schedule for information, specifically for the Customer Support Center, because that's what area we're in right now on the partner side. If there are other more specific types of webinars that you would like to see, you can always send those to us, to either do contact us or info@, and tell us some other webinars that you'd be interested in as they relate to the Customer Support Center. Or if you have other ideas for partner webinars, you're welcome to share those as well. So we have a couple different ways to get to the Customer Support Center. As I mentioned, you can get to it from the Customer Support Center Partner Guide. There's a link that'll take you right into the Customer Support Center. Or you can also access it from My Dashboard. So regardless of where you are in Illinois WorkNet, if you click on My Dashboard, you're going to see our orange side, which are the different types of tools and so forth that are available to our individual users. But then if you're a partner, you'll see this blue side, and these are our partner tools. So depending on your access levels and so forth, these tools may vary depending on what you have access to. But all of our partners will have access to the Customer Support Center. So again, that's one more way that you can get to the Customer Support Center. So whenever we go into the Customer Support Center, we're going to focus today on what we call global tools. These are the tools that are available to all partners. Now with mine, you see quite a few groups, and that's because I have access to everything. But whenever you first come to this page, you may see nothing right here, which is, if it's the first time you've come to this page, expect to not see any links here. And what that means is that you'll need to set up your personal group. So the first time you come here and you don't see anything, you'll see a button up here and it says something to the effect of create personal group. Now the personal group, as you can see, my personal group for Natasha Telker, that's me. I'm going to click on that link. So once you create that group, this is kind of like your bucket of your people, your customers. It's your overall group of customers. And in order to add customers to this group, you need to invite them, because what the Customer Support Center does is it provides a way for your customers to say, yes, I would like for you to view my information in LNA WorkNet. And we use an invitation process for the personal group. So we have a couple different options here. We have the customer invitation. It's an individual invitation where you can send an email. We have instructions here. And that email will basically say, you know, you've been invited to join this group. Would you like to join? Yes. And then they're added to the group. Let's say that you're working with, like, you have an orientation session, or, you know, a particular class or a group that you're working with. And maybe you have 5 people, 10, 15, 30, 50, doesn't matter. What you may want to do is create this group invitation. So in that case, you just simply create a passcode, give it a title, and they'll get some instructions when you create that group. And basically when they go to this page, you'll see you're invited to work with the career advisor for free, and you'll see, you know, this basic text. If you would like to update this information, you can update this invitation and personalize it when you create the invitation. And what your customers will do is they will have a URL to go to, a website address to go to, and they'll log into their LNA WorkNet account and enter a passcode and agree to be part of this group. And once they agree to be part of this group, then they will go into your customer tab, so where it says view customers. So if you have 50 people in a room, you can have pretty much all 50 people, you know, be in your customer group within, you know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on how many questions you have to answer. So once they have agreed, they go directly into your group, okay? This is your big pot, your big bucket of people. We also have the option to create subgroups. So if you wanted to create a subgroup, let's say you're working with a specific, you know, smaller group of people. Maybe it's, you know, a 2014 group, 2015 group, 2017, or maybe it's by manufacturing versus healthcare, or, you know, first hour, second hour, you know, however you want to do it. You can name your subgroups, and then you can add you can add as many customers that are from your main group into the subgroup. So that's just a way to organize a way to organize your customers. So you can also add partners, and then the instructions. There's a variety of places. We try to bring the instructions to you where you are at that moment, but then there's also a tab for instructions and some additional details. If you remove a person from a group, then they're going to have to go back through that invitation process and agree to be part of your group again. So we're going to take a look at my customer sample account. And again, this is the general personal group layout. As we add more tools and resources and release them to our global tools, you may see some of this, adding more resources, or some of the look and feel may change a little bit. So don't let that throw you off. This is my sample account. This is my person's name, the test account, of course. You can see in the profile, this is available in all these different areas. So you'll see the profile name, their Illinois WorkNet ID. So if you have any questions or need help with a customer, you can always put in their WorkNet ID, and you don't have to send us any personal information in an email. You can just send us the WorkNet ID. You'll see the customer's username. This is helpful if a person is trying to recover their password, and we definitely don't want people to have multiple accounts. We want them to use the same account. But that way, if maybe they've created 3 accounts, at least you can look at it and say, well, we're using the account where your username is customer 41. So you can tell them exactly what the username is to log in. Well, people forget their passwords, especially if they've accidentally created more than 1 account. So you can click on Reset Password. When you click on Reset Password, you can enter a new password, confirm it, and what this does is it sets it up as a temporary password. So they'll log in as customer 41, they'll enter the temporary password, and then they'll be prompted to update that password. So on the profile, you can see other information as well. We have a groups area. So you can see that this particular customer is in a variety of personal groups. And of course, this is going to be a little, this person's a little unusual, but because they're a sample account, so they're in multiple personal groups. What's more likely that you'll see is that they're in a personal group, but then maybe they're also in a special program group like Youth Career Pathways or Community Youth Employment Program. So you can see which types of programs and which types of groups that they're in. Then you'll also see the career plan area. We have a webinar later on that will go into more detail with the career plan. But just to give you a high-level overview, the career plan is, in the partner side, comes across as a builder. So you can look at assessments, you can work with your customers, set goals, you can add steps, you can print a customer copy. But the customer also has their own customer view of this plan as well. This plan is pre-populated with some self-directed, self-access steps. And as you're working with your customer, you can work with them to, again, add more goals and add more steps. And this is a tool that's a communication tool. So you can help with, providing guidance with helping them reach their training and employment goals. Excuse me. We have an assessment area. So again, this is why it's really important for your customers to have 1 account, because all their information is saved, with their account. So if they have multiple accounts, then sometimes it gets a little crazy because they're like, oh, I already did my skills and interests inventory. Like, yeah, but I don't have access to that information. We needed to do it with this particular account. So you have skills and interests. We have a disability benefits estimator, employment 101. You can read those. We'll go over those in more detail in a future webinar. But you also have the ability to add additional assessment results. So, based on it's either basic skills or other assessments. So, you can really customize this area for how it works with your workflow, with your organization, and how you work with your customers. Now, the information that you enter here, your customer also has visibility of those different assessments and those results through their dashboard. We also have a tool in Illinois WorkNet called Optimal Resume. The optimal part of it's going to be changing its name, but you can just think of it as the Illinois WorkNet Resume Builder. And that's available to all your customers. And they can do a variety of things. They can create their resume, there's different assessments, they can do portfolio. There's quite a few things that you can do in the resume builder. And once they save that information, then you can view this in Illinois WorkNet. So you can't make updates to that person's resume, but you can view that information and then provide feedback. So let's say that I looked at the resume, and one way to provide feedback is I could send them a message and say, I looked at your manufacturing resume and it looks great. You know, consider making these adjustments, or did you consider adding, you know, this experience? And so you can send that type of message both as a message and an email, or just an Illinois WorkNet message. And that would be, you know, saved like in the system for them. We have an area for success stories. We always encourage adding success stories, then they'll be posted in Illinois WorkNet. But, you know, that's one way of like really encouraging others and, you know, keeping, you know, people going as like, you know, I'm not the only one in this situation, you know, and these are the great things that have happened. And so, you know, stay with it, and, you know, you'll be rewarded in the end. So, you know, anytime you can add success stories, that'd be great. We do have a worksite placement area if you are working with, if you do that type of thing where you add, you provide worksite placements, and that's available. We'll go through that in more detail. We have an outcomes section where they can, you can see services and different types of things that have been entered into the system. It's kind of a summary of those outcomes. And then depending on your access level, we have this user management. And what user management, if you are a primary contact, then you'll be able to say, oh, sample account, this is really a workforce partner. I need to change them over to be a workforce partner and give them access to, you know, certain things. Those are the types of things you can do through user management. And again, that'll be in a future webinar as well. So that is that's a high level overview. We also have a variety of reports that are available. So you can look at different things like service reports, credential reports that are available in the Customer Support Center as well. And so the intent of this first webinar was to provide a short webinar to give you just a sample or an overview of each of these tools that are available in Illinois WorkNet. And you can find instructions and details by going to the partner side and going to the Customer Support Center. And you can either look at, like I said, the Quick Start Guide. You can go to the partner training videos. We'll have resources that are available and tutorials and a recording for this webinar. And then you can go to the full list of resources where we have instructions here for becoming a partner, you know, using different types of assessments, reports. That information is available here as well. So did anyone have any questions? I know this is a very high level, quick overview. But if you'd like to use the chat to ask any questions, that'd be great. Thank you, Dee. Okay. Well, if you don't now, you might as you get going with using the Customer Support Center tools. We always like to hear your feedback. whenever possible, we, are all about making enhancements and making, especially, if there are easy adjustments that we can make so that it makes working with some of these tools easier for you, then, please let us know. So you can always do contact us to get a hold of us to let us know what your questions are. You can always contact info@, and your questions will be directed to the appropriate person so that we can get in touch with you and either talk to you in person or answer your question over email. So that concludes our webinar for today. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Thank you.